Most killers choose one place, one basement, one room. This killer chose many homes, and the owners never knew. In 2014, the quiet suburb of Maple Grove, Ohio, ranked among the safest neighborhoods in the state. Tree-lined streets, identical houses, families who knew each other by name. Nothing ever happened there, until one morning, when police were called to a house where no one lived. The caller was a real estate agent doing a routine inspection. The house had been vacant for 6 weeks. The owners had moved to another city. Everything should have been clean. Instead, the smell hit her the moment she opened the door. Not gas, not mold, something human. Police entered the house expecting a break-in. What they found made no sense. There was blood in the kitchen. Not splattered, wiped, cleaned badly. As if someone tried to erase it but didn't know how. The living room furniture had been rearranged. A chair was missing from the dining set. The basement light was on. No forced entry, no fingerprints. The house looked like someone had borrowed it. Detectives initially assumed squatters. But neighbors reported something strange. They had seen lights on at night. Sometimes music, sometimes shadows moving behind curtains. But they never saw anyone enter or leave. Security cameras on nearby houses showed nothing. No unfamiliar faces, no vehicles parked for long periods. Whoever had been inside knew exactly when not to be seen. The case was marked as suspicious activity and quietly closed. Until 3 months later, a second house. Different street, same neighborhood. This time, the owners were on vacation. When they returned, nothing seemed stolen. But the house felt wrong. The shower curtain was wet. Towels used, the bed slept in. And the smell. Police found blood again, this time in the hallway. Still no body, still no forced entry, still no fingerprints. The homes had one thing in common. They were temporarily empty, vacant. For sale or owners away, someone was choosing houses the way others choose hotel rooms. The third house changed everything. A maintenance worker entered a rental property to fix a leak. In the basement, behind a temporary wall panel, he found something wrapped in plastic. This time there was a body. The victim had no ID, no wallet, no connection to the house. The house didn't belong to them. Forensics revealed the murder didn't happen there. The body had been moved. The house was just storage. That's when detectives understood the pattern. The killer wasn't hiding in one place. He was traveling through homes, using them, leaving before anyone noticed. A task force was formed quietly. Media was kept out. Panic would ruin everything. Detectives mapped every vacant property within a 20-mile radius. They compared timelines, open houses, rentals, long vacations, estate sales. And one detail stood out. Every house used by the killer had recently been listed online. Public photos, floor plans, basement layouts. The killer didn't need to break in blindly. He already knew the houses. Undercover officers posed as real estate agents. Hidden cameras were installed in empty properties. Motion sensors added, doors sealed and monitored. For weeks, nothing happened. Then one night at 2:13 a.m., a motion sensor triggered in a house that had been empty for exactly 9 days. The camera feed went live. A man entered. He didn't rush. He didn't panic. He turned on the lights like he belonged there. And before the camera feed cut to black, he looked directly into the lens. Not surprised, not scared, smiling. That was the moment investigators realized something terrifying. This killer wasn't hiding from the system, he was testing it. And he had been doing it for years. Detective Marcus Reed stood in the empty living room of the second house, staring at walls that looked normal. Too normal. The owners were on vacation. No forced entry, no broken locks. And yet forensic evidence confirmed the killer had been there. Not visited, lived there. The first house had seemed like an anomaly. This one proved a pattern. Both homes belonged to people who shared something strange in common. They had recently hired temporary service workers, cleaners, repair technicians, short-term contractors. Background checks showed nothing criminal. IDs were real, names checked out. But the killer wasn't using their identities. He was using their access. Security footage from nearby streets showed a man entering the houses casually, at normal hours, carrying nothing suspicious. No bags, no tools. He walked like he belonged there. Inside each house, the killer followed the same routine. He never touched personal items unnecessarily. He never slept in bedrooms, he avoided cameras. He cleaned thoroughly, but not obsessively. He stayed just long enough to commit the crime elsewhere, and then he left. The victims were never killed in those houses. That was the most disturbing part. Each murder occurred blocks away, sometimes miles away, with no physical connection to the killer's temporary home. No DNA trails, no vehicle records, no phone pings. The houses were control rooms. Investigators mapped timelines. Every time the killer occupied a house, a murder happened within a 48-hour window nearby. The killer wasn't hiding after the crimes. He was preparing. Then came the third house. This time, the homeowners returned early. They found nothing missing, nothing damaged. But something felt wrong. A faint smell of cleaning chemicals. A chair slightly repositioned. The Wi-Fi router reset. Police searched the house anyway. Behind a removable air vent panel, they found a small notebook wrapped in plastic. No names, no addresses. Only dates, times, and one repeated phrase, borrowed space. Clean exit. The killer wasn't living homeless. He was choosing homes, using other people's lives as camouflage. As pressure increased, Marcus realized something terrifying. The killer was escalating. Earlier homes were unoccupied, later ones weren't. He was getting closer to people, watching them, learning how long they were gone, which rooms they never checked, how predictable their lives were. The next house on the list wasn't empty. A family of 4 lived there, and they were scheduled to leave town for exactly 36 hours. Marcus ran. The breakthrough came from a detail no one had questioned. Every crime scene was a different house, different city, different victims. But one thing was always the same. None of the victims had forced entry, which meant the killer didn't break in. He was already allowed inside. Detective Aaron Miles went back to the timelines. He lined up utility records, short-term rentals, house-sitting apps, and temporary caretaker contracts. That's when the pattern finally appeared. Before every murder, the same name appeared in background paperwork. Evan Rook, not as an owner, not as a tenant, but as a temporary presence house sitter, emergency repair contact, friend of a friend, someone helping out for a few days. Evan never stayed long. He left no trace, no lease, no mail, no digital footprint that lasted more than weeks. He used other people's homes like tools. Police pulled his history, no violent record. Clean background, short jobs, constant movement. Evan Rook was invisible by design. Then they found something worse. A private cloud drive. Inside were floor plans. Daily routines, blind spots in each house. Evan didn't choose victims, he chose houses. Houses with back staircases. Houses with isolated bedrooms. Houses where screams wouldn't travel. He studied homes the way others study weapons. The final address in the folder was highlighted in red. A suburban home outside Denver. The date was tomorrow. Police didn't wait. They surrounded the house before midnight. The owners were evacuated quietly. Every room was cleared. At 2:13 a.m., motion sensors triggered in the basement. Evan Rook stepped out of the shadows. He wasn't surprised, he smiled. During interrogation, Evan finally spoke. "I never broke in," he said calmly. "They invited me." He explained everything without emotion. He lived in borrowed spaces because they gave him control. Walls that weren't his. Rooms with memories that weren't his. People trusted him because he was temporary. And temporary people don't raise suspicion. He never carried weapons. He used what the house gave him: stairs, corners, doors. When asked why he moved constantly, he gave one answer: a home makes people careless. The trial was swift. Evidence from multiple states connected him to every crime. Evan Rook was sentenced to life without parole. But the case didn't end there. After his arrest, investigators reopened dozens of unsolved murders. Many were linked to homes with temporary occupants, contractors, sitters, helpers. The crimes weren't rare, they were just misunderstood. Today, law enforcement changed protocol nationwide. Background checks for temporary access. Home access logs, surveillance guidelines, because the most dangerous place isn't a dark alley. It's a house where the wrong person feels at home. Evan Rook will never step inside another house again. But the lesson remains. Not all killers break doors. Some are invited inside and never truly leave. If this story made you think, like the video and subscribe to The Real Crime Truth. Thank you for watching.